5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for the IOU. Let's go.
Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to the C&J show, and I have my favorite gin and juice here, and I have my sister Neek here. And today our hot topic that we're going to be talking about is the lip service with Angela Yee, and they had Country Wayne on there. So, I enjoyed the whole show. I loved it. But I wanted to speak on something with, I guess if you want to say, missing out maybe on an opportunity because of our standards. Now, I know a lot of people are into healthy eating and eating right, but also we know that Country Wayne is a vegan. He's been a vegan for about 6 to 8 years now. And Angela is on that road too, on that journey. And a lot of us is on the road of eating healthy. Now, he said in kind of like a joking but serious way that he was getting a little bougie, that maybe he kind of don't want to talk to females if they're not eating right. And she said she went on a date and the guy had a hamburger and that was the last date. So that was a no for her. So Neek, let me ask you this. Now, I know everybody have their little things that you can look at, but could this be a little bit too, like, over the top as far as eating habits is concerned, the eating part?
I would say yes and no, because I think if you use that opportunity to reel a person in and maybe to help them to understand why you eat the way that you eat and some of the things that you do eat, I think people will sometimes draw to it. I mean, everybody don't want to do vegan. Some people do, the pescatarian, or they do some of the other things where they still eating, certain meats, maybe not pork, maybe not beef, but they're still a healthy diet, eating lean, organic, meat. You don't have to not eat meat at all, but that's just my opinion. I'm pretty sure people have other research of maybe, something that they might have read. But I do think probably dating, it is harder if you're dating somebody and it's like, okay, you eat everything, or you do eat meat, or you do eat whatever. I think a big part of dating is going out to eat, is, what you eat. And it's like, okay, you want to go to a vegan restaurant, but if you're dating someone, 9 times out of 10, they'll try it once or twice, but that's not a regular basis thing that they would want to do all the time with you, which I do think could possibly draw a red wedge in, the relationship, or, I don't know, maybe.
Jen, and your take, because I know with eating vegan, I don't know if they're adding stuff to it, but it's like, okay, well, dang, you know what? If I do just follow this diet, and this is for me, if I follow this, well, not diet, if I follow this lifestyle for a day, I probably would be in by the third day in the hospital, because it literally is taking everything. You cannot eat the eggs, the bread, the cheese, maybe not even, the milk. I can't eat no meats. I'm just really down to just the plants, just the plants on the ground.
That's what they eat. It's plants
and fruits.
It's plants and grains,
Yeah.
So it's just, those are the things that they have.
And then you have to almost be somewhat like a monk. You have to really be just, like, very strong-minded and strong to have that daily. I mean, if you haven't been eating that way, that is hard to do.
There's a lot of good food. I mean, because we do, basically it's the vegan fast, or a vegan diet, when we do the Daniel's fast. And we do that like every beginning of the year. Me and Jen do it along with, the rest of the family. And that's basically the same thing, where you can't, if you do eat, rice, or not even rice, you can have that, but like if you do eat anything, gotta be vegetable based pasta. You gotta be, anything, you gotta eat wheat
okay
bread.
But the fish, and
you don't eat the fish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the fish. But on a Daniel's fast, you can eat fish and berries and the yam.
But see, that's a
The church one?
No, it depends. Cause I've heard some people just started eating fish on theirs, and then there's other ones they don't eat no meat.
See, I would have to eat the fish because I know back in the day, I know that Jesus gave everybody some fish and the bread. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like that protein is what carry you on. I think good protein. You don't have to be eating steak and all the rest, but Jesus, you know.
So
But
Jen, what you
Jen,
think?
your take.
So with me, I think dating somebody that has such strict eating regimen and things like that, I think it's almost like dating somebody that's a pro athlete or somebody that's heavy in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm out of shape, I'm not going to look at the buffest guy in the room and be like, oh my God, like, yes, I want that. Yes, it looks good. Yes, it's appealing, but am I ready for that? No, because the lifestyle that he's leading, I'm not in that, nor am I ready for that. And I think when, eating is a big part of someone's life, like Nick was saying, it's not even just restaurants, it's cooking at home.
Yeah.
You have a certain diet, you're a meat eater, or you don't eat healthy. Now you have to sit and try to figure out meals for a person that's strictly vegan and things like that. So it's a lot of I think a lot of lifestyle changes that come with that. And I think people just try to cut out that extra headache of dealing with someone who don't know anything about it, and they're not looking to get involved with that. I think there's a lot of conflict that could come up from that. Like I said, with the whole bodybuilder type thing, you want to sit home and relax while they want to go to the gym. Now they looking at you crazy,
Yeah.
And I just think it's just, it makes sense to me not to be with somebody who values in that sense don't align with yours.
Right.
Now, see, my take on this is standards. Like I say, I know everybody has a standard, and now I remember my mom fixing my stepdad different dishes that she had to make because I think he had ended up being allergic to tomatoes. So she made spaghetti, his had to be Alfredo. And then along with a lot of other things, he started not to be able to eat, so she had to switch it up. Now, my thing is, for me personally, I don't know if I want to go so in tune to what my definition would be of a good man. I don't want to miss out on a good man because I'm looking at you eating McDonald's and I'm just going into Whole Foods and I'm eating my peanuts and grape juice. I mean, we could swap it out a little bit, but I think what should probably, listen, you don't have to step in my lane, I don't have to step in yours, but we could try it as long as you are healthy, because a person still could be healthy and eat meat. That does not mean you're not healthy. Because I'm a meat eater, that do not mean that I'm not healthy, because there's a lot of lifestyles you can I guess have protein, which I know that for a fact. You supposed to have protein, and it's lean, good protein. But I'm saying it more so in the fact when it gets to be that simple to me, I think we are on a journey of now starting to pick other little things can go on with it. Because when, now, like you said, Nick, that's a big part of dating, traveling, going out to restaurants, cooking. We have to eat. I mean, everybody got to eat. But now it is, restaurants is putting a little bit of everything in people's stuff. Even with, not to cut you, because I know I just cut you because you cut me. But with what is the Chipotle? Now they have their little lifestyle 360 and the other thing for people. So you can now go out if we choose to go to McDonald's with the kids and stuff. I can get me a salad and y'all eat y'all hamburgers.
Yeah, but
and
not only
still,
that, you can even go to Burger King and get the Impossible Burger, and you can do it without the bread, because I don't know if they have the whole grain bread or not, but you can have the Impossible Burger.
But then they was saying it's the taste too. They was like, because then you start to, because they said it a little bit with disgust, because it was like, you can, when it's that time, ladies, you're getting all that stuff. So I think they're really involved in it more so like
in a sexual way.
Yeah, in a sexual way. And like, okay, we could smell like Angela said. She could smell the beef in the pork on you. I could smell it. I mean, yeah. She's like, yeah, you can like smell the juice. Like you start to smell. Yeah, you can like smell. I'm like, well, dang, you can really smell. Now I know when I was heavy into eating right, there's things that I probably could eat that my body was not used to, and I get sick right away. But I never could smell a person's sweat glands. Like, okay, oh my God, you just had a hamburger from Burger King.
Yeah.
Like I never could do that part. But basically, guys, what we're saying is, to each his own. But I do feel like, sometimes the higher our mentality goes, sometimes we do start getting that standard stuff going on, and if you're noticing you're not finding other people, because look, there's been some people that came up to me that I've never thought like, okay, no, because everything is wrong with you in the department, everybody know about you and stuff. But I think standards wise, that's when people start, you know what, no. Because if your figure is not that, why should I date you? You're not eating here, why should I date you? Your dress code is not that, why should I date you? It's like it becomes, I think, an issue. You could be missing out on your king and your queen because now you don't know nothing about them. They just open up their mouth like, yes, I love Burger King.
Yeah, I don't care how much you love God. I don't care how much, how ambitious you are.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
None of that. Like,
I ain't giving you
a
hamburger.
Okay.
Yeah, you just say I dare you come up to me. Do I look like I eat a hamburger? No. And so see, with that, it just even down to that for me.
No, for you is what?
For me to cut you. For me, if you let you do this, what about with the women too that, you got, y'all going to get the surgeries and you got the big butt. Vegan food and all this food is not putting stuff in your body back there like that. It's not. So where is that fat coming from? Because you got a whole bunch of fat stored somewhere in a bad way inside of you if you're talking like this, is what I'm saying. Because God ain't give that to you. That's not yours. You sit on that table, that fat belongs to somebody else. That fat is created and you only want it in your butt. So it's kind of like saying, listen, my whole body is good.
But I thought that would transfer from like.
If you go in there skinny and you could be, where are they gonna transfer it from?
But I thought they normally make you gain weight if you are too small.
Sometimes they could. It depends on the person. They can do that, and I think some of it they probably got to store it somewhere. Who knows? But I'm just saying. I think when we start doing certain things and saying that, you could be missing out. Like if we go right now somewhere and a guy is in a Toyota Corolla, not that, because it's all kinds of Toyota Corollas. I'm just saying the ones that's not foreign. Yeah. What if that was just a car? So he don't want to be seen because people know him, but really he's living on the beach somewhere, is in the industry. Nobody really, he don't want his name to be out, because that's what happened with a lot of producers. And he's just in a Toyota Corolla because he just wants to just drive. And he said, hello, excuse me, is you? And you said, oh, no, yes, I'm married. And you just lying. You was not married. You just didn't want to date him because of that Toyota Corolla.
But I will say this, right? With the whole thing with standards and about eating, right? I feel like this. I feel like not only about eating, but I feel like once food becomes such a huge part of your life, it's a huge part of everybody's life.
But it's not just food, though. We just thinking about it in the context of food. Whatever it is you take so seriously.
That's what I'm saying.
What if you become more educated about, finances? Now you start scrutinizing people in their pockets more. Same thing with your body. You start looking at people in their body.
It's once you're serious about something, right?
Yeah.
I feel like once you learn about things, especially I feel like with food, there's more and more people, especially young, especially black, and there's at least a couple of black people in every family that didn't have a cancer scare or have had cancer, and they're telling you that it's coming from the food,
and
telling you that it's coming from, different things like that. Then you have people that are younger with diabetes, with high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and maybe you want to skip out on that. Like, you know what? if you're not serious about eating a certain type of way, it's too hard to change a person's mind about food, because food is like a drug for majority of the people. You know what I mean? Most people are addicted to drugs, or they're addicted to food.
Yeah.
So you have one or the other. You get what I mean? Yeah. I'm not gonna say one or the other, but
or cheating.
Yeah, or cheating or whatever it is. But it's just kind of like, you know, if that's something that you really don't want to deal with, or that's like, okay, you know what, I can kind of work with whatever it is. But if you eat healthy, 9 times out of 10, if you're a vegan or if you eating pescatarian where you're halfway there, most of those people have a certain type of mentality anyway. Yeah. You know, that's not no average Joe or Jane or whatever you want to call it.
So basically, what you're saying is this, and we're saying this now. If you go inside of a church, it don't matter what church it is. You're going in there to get something out of it. Because see, normally what happens in the church community too is they say this and that, but they leave out the part with the things you do. It's like you got to come prepared already. Like going to LA Fitness, you go there, everybody got on their nice clothes and you seem like they already fit, like they've been doing this for years, and it make you like, okay, I'll just go to YouFit. Then once I get my body how I want it to be, then I'm gonna go to what I just was LA Fitness, because that's the place to be seen. So basically, if you're saying that, what it boils down to is, I'm not in the realm of teaching the proper way, and if you don't do it or you don't submit to it, now I go into this controlling thing, because I don't want to do that.
I won't consider it controlling, because I feel like you're not forcing nobody to do anything. It just
not like, controlling, but you just feel it. Listen, you're gonna eat your burgers, and I know that you are.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that I feel like, especially with Country Wayne, because I feel like Jesse Larry used to talk so much about his diet and make him feel a certain type of way. I'm sure. Yeah, and I feel like there's certain experiences that you have where it's like, okay, you know what, I'd rather not deal with that.
Yeah. But nothing he does, it's gonna be hard to do this, because he went on the show also with what's his name, the fly guy, what is this guy, DC Young Fly, went on their show. He was half high himself, only from being there. They're drinking, smoking. He don't smoke. He don't drink. He doesn't eat bad. So, with that, it would be challenging to say that nobody in that, even if you drink occasionally, somebody may do it. Now, that is just, he got all three down packed very well. But we could see that maybe down with the cheating part and stuff like that. Yeah. But... So that was it, what we was trying to say with that. Just standards, how we feel those standards should be. And you guys can let us know as far as in, okay, what is your no. And what is your things you will accept versus what you won't accept. Because it is some things that we say, no, absolutely not. I know I knew a girl that said absolutely no. If a guy got goals in his mouth, she's running to a whole nother direction. And that was just because of their reputation with that. So, there you just have it from us. Now what we're going to do. Okay, Jen. Now this is the part where we're just going to give our advice on the hot topic that you guys just heard. Now, Jen, you tell us what you got to tell us with the advice.
All right, guys. So I am very much for keeping those standards high, but not to where you choke on them. So I do feel like if you are going to be specific about something, you should be with somebody who is serious about that same thing, but then you don't want to, potentially, just discard someone who could be good for you and is willing to do whatever it is that, is important to you. So although, yes, you should keep your standards high, I do think you should be open to stuff.
I agree.
Yeah, and I agree too. I think, standards are great. I think you have to keep those standards, to what you would set your standards at, what you would want out of somebody. But definitely don't set them too high to where that you are unrealistic with what you're looking for inside of people. So that's my only thing. Make sure you set your standards realistically.
And I agree. And my thing on it is, However you choose to have your standards, but don't miss out on a good thing because you went out on a date, and dates sometimes don't always be perfect because you don't know the person. So whether they're eating a hamburger, or whether they burped during a conversation and didn't say excuse me, don't miss out on a good thing because you're judging the first few things. Let's go.